Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. You guys are going to kill me because I just had a whole conversation and I forgot to hit go live. So I am so sorry. Me and technology, we don't get along, you guys. We do not get along. But you guys, thank you so much for joining us this evening. For those of you that are actually jumping in, I want you to type in the box below, type in the city and the state that you're actually watching from this evening. For those of you that are actually catching the replay, I want you to type in the chat box below #replay, and let's get started. I am Erica Hill, and I am the creator of Create Your Fabulous Life. I own a thriving, successful financial service agency where I have over 24 agents that work with me. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified financial educator instructor. And in October, I just released another book called Reset, Learn How to Grow Money and Build a Legacy, which is now available on Amazon. Yay! But you guys, tonight, I'm not going to take up a lot of time because I want to get to the nuggets with Victoria. Today is Talk About It Tuesday. Today, I'm actually interviewing Victoria Stanton. And before I forget, I want to make sure you have your drink in your hand because you're going to need it. I want you to have your girlfriends on point with you so that you guys can all jump in on this conversation because this is a conversation you do not want to miss. Like, seriously, if you want to set yourself up for generational wealth, you need to really be in on this conversation because our special guest today is Victoria Stanton. Victoria actually owns a very thriving tax prep business, and she's also a business consultant. So, Victoria, I don't want to, give them too much about you. You take it and run with it. Let the people know who you are, Victoria. Let them know who you are.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me,
Yes.
guys. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. So basically, I don't sleep. But I started my business probably at an awkward point where I had just been laid off from my corporate job. I was devastated. I was 8 months pregnant. I was just like, what am I going to do? No one's going to hire me because I'm 8 months pregnant. And I need to figure out, other than my savings, how I'm going to support my family. And that's how my business came about. I started as a virtual assistant and just offered my services to my friends that I knew that were realtors and mortgage brokers and just work with them, grew my business. My business is pretty much all word of mouth. So it can be done. And I've just been helping small business owners, specifically minorities, specifically women, um, grow, thrive, and be their best.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now tell us a little bit more. You said that you actually were working in corporate America.
Yes. Yes.
So
hmm I spent 10 years in merchant services as an analyst.
okay.
So, and in my corporate job, I analyzed small business financials, well, small to mid-sized business financials, to see if they would be able to see if my company would be able to work with them, and then also if we can solidify the risk involved with doing business with them. So I would get everything from your everyday mom and pop, restaurant to a multi-chain real estate company, and everything in between. And I saw there was a kind of a trend with small businesses, right? They either didn't have all their finances together or they were literally working, in a sense, from paycheck to paycheck. They're only making enough to cover the bills and pay their employees and never having any savings, never having any backup money for things like this. Just this week, I spoke to a business owner I worked with um, in years prior, and she's closing her doors because she never had a plan and never thought that the pandemic would happen, and it took her business from her. So your services are definitely needed. The financial planning, the financial coaching. You need to make, excuse me, you need to be able to sustain yourself without government funding, without, just being able to really focus on your planning and making sure that you put yourself in a position where if a pandemic happens, you're still able to survive.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So Victoria, so what, I know you said what made you start your business, but were you around business owners? Like, did you grow up with people in your family that were business owners? Like, how did you just say, I'm gonna start a business? I don't want to go back to corporate America. I'm gonna start a business. Like, how did you end up in that conversation?
It was so scary for me. It was scary just because I had no experience. No one in my immediate circles had ever had a business of their own. Both my parents, God, bless them. They worked for 30 years my father was a police officer. My mom was an underwriter for New York Life. And they worked and they had pensions back then. So they were able to retire with pension and doing some savings. And I actually got a full scholarship to be a teacher. And I said, this is not for me. I can't be a teacher. It's not something I teach, but not in this sense. And my parents were like, what are you going to do? You need to get either a union job or you need to go into a service job that has a union, like a police officer or my father actually specifically told me you should go work as a toll worker. And I said to him, no, I don't think tolls are going to be around much longer. 5 years, not even 5 years later, all the toll booths are gone.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that because in our community, especially,
yes.
Yeah, we've been taught to, like for me personally, I was taught to go to college, get a degree so that you can make more money. Nobody taught me what to do with the money when I got it, once I got that degree. But I was never taught to go to college because I have a degree in business finance, but I never was taught to go to college to pick up on how I can start a business.
Right.
I was taught to go work for somebody else.
Right.
So that conversation in our community is so prevalent.
Yes.
Go to college, go work for somebody else. But very, very seldomly do we hear go to college and learn how to start your own business.
No.
Or create a business within your community and hire more of your people. So that's the reason that I asked you, because I see that time and time and time again, that we're sent out into the world to go to rack up all these student loans and go out and work for somebody else. But we very, 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 very rarely hear somebody say, go start your own thing, like build your own economy, grow your own economy. Never, hardly, very seldomly. Now, conversations now are starting to shift a little bit in our community, but for the most part, that's why I asked you that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm having that conversation now, and my parents kind of cringe because I'm like, my dad's his big thing. When I'm gone, my granddaughters are going to have money for college. I said, your granddaughters are going to have money, and we're going to sit down, and I'm going to say, if you want to be a doctor, you want to be a nurse, you got to go to college. If you want to start your own business, you go to community college for 2 years. You work under somebody, and then you take maybe the rest of what's ever left, $10,000, $15,000, and you invest that in your business.
I love it.
That's what you're gonna do. That's the conversation. That's the conversation we all need to have. What do you want to do? Let's even go back a step. We're sending kids off to college, and they don't even know the loan documents they're signing. They understand it's a loan, but in their heads, they're like, we
free
don't
money.
Have to pay that back.
Free money. Yeah. Free money.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Not knowing that 30 years later, you're still going to be paying on your student loan.
Right.
Oh my God.
And if you're not smart enough and you're not savvy enough to start paying while you're in college, that little $50,000 job, if that's what you're going for, and you got $1,000, most of my friends pay $1,000 a month in student loans.
Are you serious?
Most, yes, because it's twofold. It's going to college is one, and then going to what college is two.
Yeah.
Because most of the colleges you want to get to, if you want to get a certain type of job, you're talking 40 or 50 a year.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's so true. That is so true. You guys, I hope you are in on this conversation. Like I said, this is Talk About It Tuesday, and we're just, letting our hair back. This is very informal. You guys know how I do it. Like this is just girl chat. That's why I was like, grab your drink, grab your girlfriends, and let's just talk. Let's just have these conversations that we normally don't have in our community. That's really crippling us because we don't like to talk about it. Right. So if you haven't had a chance, go ahead, grab your drink. We just on here, we are really chatting, like seriously, like just, talk about some of the things that are plaguing our community and how we can actually reset. So Victoria, you and I had a conversation where you found out like you could collect unemployment and start your business. Girl, drop the jewels for them and tell them what happened. Like, how did you do that?
Okay, so I'm a researcher by nature. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to start this business, I need to know the tools that are available to me because I know there has to be tools. And this is another conversation. Like, yes, there is such a thing as white privilege. That is the thing. We know that. But there's also what can you do to help yourself? What are you looking at? Are you really doing the research before you start your business? Because a lot of people go out there and they start taking the money and they don't really know, a business plan or resources to just as a business owner get the tools you need. There's so many free tools, and I'm a huge advocate for SCORE. I'm a SCORE mentor myself. It's absolutely free. There's free classes on accounting, inventory management, marketing, you name it, free classes. Wow. And everything's online. And you could talk to someone and say, I want to start an online shop on Shopify. And you could say, I need a mentor who has a Shopify store. And they'll connect you with that person. And you could speak to that person once a week for an hour.
Wow. And pick their brain. For free?
For free. SCORE.org. It's part of the SBA. It's totally free. They have some paid classes, but 90% of the resources on their page are absolutely free.
Wow. Yeah. Now tell them about how you found out that you could actually file for unemployment and then start your business. You had money coming in as you were starting your business. Tell them about that.
So I don't know about every state. So let me put that's the disclaimer. I was in New York State at the time. New York State has a program, and the program is for unemployed individuals who either want to go into self-employment or start their business. And part of that is meeting with a SCORE mentor, creating a business plan, research, marketing, all that stuff while you're collecting unemployment. So I signed up for this program. This was 2015. I signed up for this program and I was able to collect unemployment while building my business the right way.
Wow. I hope you guys are like really seriously tuning in, because what I see is there are a lot of people that want to start a business, but they don't know how to start a business. They don't know what to go about doing. They don't know how to put together a business plan, but it's something that they really want. They just don't know how to do this. Right. So Victoria, thank you so much for sharing those jewels. Now, let's talk about the tax part. Like,
yes.
How did you end up, like, what do you see? What are some of the prevalent, and you guys drop some hearts in here because she is dropping some jewels. Like, she's dropping some jewels. And share this with your family and friends. Like, share this with your community because she's dropping some jewels. Now, what do you normally see when you're doing tax time? Like, give us some tips and tricks. How can we take advantage of get some more money back from our taxes? Like, give us some tips.
Okay, well, I'll break it into two parts. So the first part is for my self-employed or small business owners. Track everything. So the first year when you usually come to me, I let you come as you are. I have an envelope here. I usually get a folder that looks like this. You see all of this? Just a folder, or some people bring me Ziploc bags of receipts. That's a good start. Thank you for keeping the receipts. because I like to have an IRS audit trail. Okay. So when they first come, I'm like, come as you are. After that, it's like, we're going to get down to business and we're going to get organized. And the people who are organized are those people right now who are collecting first and second round PPP loans, because you have to have your finances in order. So let me get back to it. So as a small business owner, as a self-employed individual, you need to monthly do your bookkeeping. It's boring. You can do it in 15 minutes though. I need y'all to pay attention to your finances, record everything that you're spending so that you're able to get that money back as a deduction at the end of the year. For our individuals, okay, same thing. Please keep track of all of your expenses. As a family, I mean, I have a family budget. I have family expenses. I make sure I stay on top of everything going in and coming out for all the kids.
Your mic is cutting in and out. There's a lot of interference or something.
Can you hear me now?
It's like some interference.
Hold on. Now?
Mm-hmm. That's better.
No.
No, it's not. Maybe not. It was, but no.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
It's not better on mine.
No, it's not. So you guys, if you have not had a chance to type in your name and the city that you're watching from, make sure you drop it in the Facebook comment section right now. Are you guys liking this? Like, are you guys really liking this? Do you guys have any questions for Victoria? Like, what questions? I see we got Kimberly from Middletown, Delaware. We got Nashville, Tennessee. Like, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, she's freezing up. She's definitely freezing up. So you want to know how to handle credit cards too. Okay. So when she comes back in, we definitely will ask her. You guys, please type in the chat box. If you have some questions for Victoria, type them in and we can, have her answer it. But so far, is this good or what? Like, what are you guys taking away so far? Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes. Hi, Dolores. We got Dolores from Maryland. We got Charlotte, North Carolina. Yes, come in, ladies. But is this good or what? Is Victoria dropping some jewels or what? Type yes in the comment box. If Victoria is actually dropping jewels, type yes in the comment box. And if you guys have any questions specifically for Victoria, I want you to type those in the chat box too as she gets her equipment going. But as she's coming back in, one of the conversations that I really want to piggyback on that she was talking about is how in our community, we're not taught to start our own businesses. Great tips. I need to do better with keeping up with my receipts. Yes. Like, you guys, what I realize is that in our community, a lot of times we're not actually taught to start our own business. Me personally, I was taught to go to school, get a degree so I can, and they threw me out there to go work for somebody else. But no one ever taught me about starting my own business. So it's something that I actually learned along the way. Another thing too that I'm going to have Victoria talk about is the importance of having multiple streams of income. As we can see in this particular climate, in this particular economy, you can't depend on one source of income anymore. That old school conversation that our parents used to have about going to work and retiring, those conversations are old, you guys. Like, seriously, we can't stay in the same old conversations in 2021 because those conversations are no longer valid. So we have to reset some of the conversations that we have. And one of the conversations that we need to reset is having multiple streams of income. And once you have those multiple streams of income, tracking in your money, you got to track your money. You got to keep a good eye on your money. You got to know what's coming in. You got to know what's going out at all times. Like, you can't just be willy-nilly just spending, because you may do all this is for starting a business or, having multiple streams of income. And that's something that I talk about in the group. I'm actually getting ready to do another challenge February the 15th. We're going to do another 5-day challenge for those of you that actually missed the challenge that I did in November. And that's one of the things that I really discuss. I really break down to show you how to make money work for you versus you working for it. And we got Victoria back. Let's see if we can add her in. Victoria, are you back?
Yes, I switched devices.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. So Victoria, we left out with you telling the women how important it is for them to keep a good eye on their money. Keep talking about that.
Yes, it is so important. And even your family budget. I mean, I know it's so hard. Everyone's like, no, I don't want to hear the budget. I already have the budget for my business or budget at work or whatever it is, but you have to. It starts at home and it flows easily in through your business. My family is its own business. That's how I treat it. It's its own business. We got a budget, we got expenses, and we got income, and we have to keep on top of these things. And that's another thing that we don't talk about in the community. You just take your money, you pay your bills, and to be honest, from what I've seen, especially most people, if you pay your bills, everything else is yours. And it's like, oh, what do you mean it's yours? Yes, it's yours, but what are you doing with that extra money to have it make you money?
Exactly. It's funny you should say that, because I know for me personally, and a lot of the clients that I work with, a lot of the conversations that they had growing up with a child, it didn't go past pay your bills on time. Save your money, save your money in a bank account.
Right.
Yeah. Can't do that no more, you guys, because that ain't gonna be. So that conversation, we got to get rid of that one. And you're supposed to save your money, but you save your money with the intent of growing it, not saving your money with the intent of keeping it in the savings account, because it's never going to grow. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about in that challenge is compounding interest. The rules I'm going to actually teach you how to see, like, if you have your money in an account, I'm going to show you how to calculate how long it's going to take for your money to grow. But we ain't talking about that tonight. Victoria, talk a little bit more about the PPE. Like, a lot of the businesses weren't able to take advantage of the PPE. Tell them why.
To be honest, it's one of two things. Credit score is one of them.
Okay.
And your actual structure of your business. If you're saying you're an S Corp and there's no one on payroll, that's a problem. How are you going to get a paycheck protection program when you have no one on payroll except for yourself? And then can you prove that you're paying yourself an income from your business? So a lot of people might have been paying themselves. And I just had this one today where a young lady, she works 9 to 5 and she owned a business. And what she was doing was she was paying herself an income from her actual wages instead of her business, because she wasn't making enough, but just so she can try and trick the system into thinking that she was getting that income from her business. Yes. People are trying some stuff, fake 10 times.
You do that when you have to show your business bank account and they can see if you got $2.
Don't have one. Cash App is not your friends. Let me just say this, because I have to keep repeating this one. Cash App is not your friend. Cash App is for peer-to-peer payments. Your sister, your cousin, and y'all out to dinner, and you want one person to pay with their Cash App. That's what you use Cash App for. Cash App is not for your business. Another large nonprofit program was on the internet that I helped them out. they were on the internet and they were saying, why does our Cash App keep getting shut down? I said, well, you're a nonprofit, correct? Yes. Okay, so why are you using Cash App?
They didn't have They didn't have a business bank account?
It didn't matter. You can't use Cash App for that. Cash App is not set up for nonprofit. Okay, so I'll back up a little bit because my merchant services experience, right? When you go to do merchant services, meaning you're using a processing company like Square or Stripe to process your payments for your organization and or your business, okay? You are given certain parameters based on that business type. Cash App is a peer-to-peer business, so you're not set up under certain parameters that have to protect both your business and the company in order for you to properly process.
Got it. Got it.
So I got into her DMs and I said, you're a nonprofit. You need to actually go fill out an application, have that application underwritten by the company, and you actually coded for donations because donations have to be coded differently.
Wow. Got it. Got it. Got it. So Kimberly Dunn wants to know how to transition from doing bookkeeping for a company to doing it for a small business.
Oh, that's a good one. So there are a ton of programs out there specifically for people who either want to start their own bookkeeping practice or vice versa, bookkeepers who now want to do the bookkeeping for some other small businesses. It is a little bit of a learning curve. I would say do your research. There's plenty of programs. QuickBooks offers their own internal training, and they're actually hiring bookkeepers who want to help support small businesses. Honestly, if you know accounting and you've done bookkeeping before, it's a very easy transition.
Kimberly, Victoria, when I met Victoria, I was like, I gotta bring her on board. So Victoria is a part of our concierge team in Women Who Reset. So yeah, she's a part of the team, you guys. So if you have any questions about that, Kimberly, outside of the group, just get in contact with Victoria. Just reach out.
You slide in my DMs. I'm cool like that. Just slide in my DMs.
Anybody that's on my team and Women Who Reset, you guys already know they are cool like that. This is a sisterhood, so just make sure you just reach out to them. Now,
and I'm so tired, also just to piggyback on that, I'm so tired of us looking at them, meaning other communities, they share.
Oh, yes.
Why are we not sharing? We got to get to the sharing so we can get to the sharing of the profits and growing. And you got that, I got this. Let's work together. We have to.
What did I tell you my mission was when I brought you into work for a part of the team?
Our mission is to grow and help 5 business owners become millionaires.
500.
500, sorry. I'm starting with 5. I'm gonna start with 5. You just jumped to the 500.
2 more zeros behind that 5. 500, because it's going to take a community in order for us to empower ourselves to build wealth within our generation. It takes a community. So sharing is powerful. And ladies, in saying that, I told you to put your questions in the each one teach one. Exactly.
Right.
I told you guys to drop your questions in the chat box for Victoria, why she's actually on, because she's a wealth of knowledge. She is a wealth of knowledge. Now, Victoria, what about, I know for me, I started a business in my 20s. And I only started the business because it was this older person that I met. And they told me, they were like, baby, you need to have you a side business. Because I was still working in corporate America. And my girl, I was horrible with money. But they was like, baby, you need to have you a side business.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you need to have you a side business is because some of the stuff that you're doing already, you can write that stuff off if you had a business. And you can take that money and you can do more things with that money. So I was like, I didn't even really too much know, like, okay. Who is that?
That's not nobody. It's a list. Hold on, let me move it over. It's a list.
I'm like, who is that?
This is a list I hand everybody who I know who has a small business, and I'll put it in the group.
Okay.
It's a short list. 2 pages is short, by the way. A short list of all the things that you can write off that are tax deductions for being a small business.
Yeah. It's some things that you guys are doing right now. Bills that you're paying right now. That if you had a business, you can write that stuff off. Then take that, like I always teach my people, take that money that you get back from your refund and then invest it in something, in the stock market, something that makes it grow, instead of you taking that money, putting it back out, spending it. That's another conversation. We were consumers as opposed to producers. So even now with this stimulus check, the reason they're giving you the stimulus check is because they know you're going to take that money and put it back into the economy. So,
especially us, because we are the biggest consumer group.
Yeah. So they're banking on you taking that money and putting it back into the economy. They know it's just going to go from their hand to your hand back to their hands. That's what they're banking. So yeah. So Victoria, tell us some other things that we can write off, because some of my clients are not business owners; they're aspiring business owners. But tell them some of the things that they may actually be, doing anyway, so they can write off if they had a business.
Here's one that most people don't think about. I feel like even if you're self-employed, right? Most people remember to, if you don't, that's okay too, but most people remember to do their mileage. Like, let's say me and you are having a meeting in Atlanta, right? Most people remember, okay, I have to track the mileage because I'm doing a business transaction, right? I'm going to have a meeting with a client or whatever, right? Most people don't think if you stop to get coffee, if you have a meal during that course of time, that's a meal that was because of your business. So you can write that up. You include that in your meals on your Schedule C.
Yeah.
One. Subscriptions, if you're using any programs, and I'm talking Zoom, Dubsado, all of those type programs to run your business. Gmail, if you have a domain for your Gmail and you have multiple email addresses, all that stuff you need to include.
Yeah. I love it. What about, even though we're kind of all shut down on COVID, but what about taking trips?
So that's where it has to be really a business trip, right? But if you're going, let's say I've had a few trips where I had to go to New York. That's where I'm originally from, where I will be conducting business, and I would need to go either way. I'm using my business account to do that, so that I make sure I count for it at the end of the year. I save everything, parking fees, when I used to have to park my car, all of that stuff.
Now, Victoria, said that when you travel, it has to be business. Now, let's say you and I, I came to New York or whatever, and I talked to you about my financial service agency. Okay. Technically, you do any transactions together, but we did talk about business. Could I write that off?
If you have a meeting, then it becomes a business trip. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. I hope you guys are getting it. I'm asking her this question for a reason. I hope you guys are actually getting where I'm going. I hope you guys are truly getting where I'm going with this. Same thing with dinner. Let's say that I took you to dinner, or we went out. We went to a concert or dinner or something, and we talked about business. Is that considered a write-off?
Why not?
Because we discussed business, right?
Yes. And you know what? As long as you keep accurate records, no one's going to say anything to you.
I hope you guys are getting this. Some of you guys are going, some of you, well, not with COVID. Hopefully, I hope y'all not out there just, infected. with COVID. But
Exactly. Exactly.
you guys are doing where we're going with this. It's some of the things that you're doing always. It's some of the things that you're actually paying on a monthly basis, but you're not taking advantage of it. These are
And
things
even if you can't, do everything electronic, like
your phone is doing for your it's echoing. Man.
what about now? No.
It's doing it again.
It's a different device.
You hear it? It sounds like you're echoing. You can't? Okay. Yeah, it's a real bad echo.
Still?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me refresh.
Okay. But you guys, I see somebody says, yes, got it. Rentals and business entertainment. Yes. Yeah. So you guys, what other comments do you actually have? Like, what questions do you have for Victoria before we end tonight? I did not want this to go over 45 minutes. I just kind of wanted Victoria to come in, drop in some nuggets for you guys, and but I didn't want it to go over 45 minutes. So the last 5 minutes, you guys, we're going to take questions. So make sure you type them in the chat box so that we can get to them. So Victoria, in ending, what are some other nuggets and women who reset? What other conversations can we reset our I'm going tongue tie there. What other conversations can we have to reset our mindset when it comes to money and dealing with business and taxes?
Yes. Start now. I'm a big believer. I'm like always trying to start like on a Monday, on the 1st, to get started. Just start now. Whatever it is. If you haven't been keeping track of your business expenses and your income and your financials, start now. If you know that you've been running a business, but you don't really know what you're doing, start now doing the research. Start looking at resources like SCORE to help assist you to get on the right track. You can always restart.
Yeah. Victoria, thank you so much for coming on and dropping some nuggets with us. Ladies, like I said, she is a part of the Women Who Reset community. If you're not a part of the Women Who Reset community, make sure you join as soon as possible. You can always reach out to Victoria. Victoria, someone says, how soon can they get an EIN?
That's kind of general. I mean, you can get it now. You go online, fill out the information, you got an EIN. Just be ready. Just be ready. Yeah, as soon as even as a self-employed individual, my first business, I did paparazzi. I was selling jewelry, in my basement. And I just went and got my EIN because I wanted to separate the two, myself from my business. And I was going to be a sole proprietor, but I wanted to make sure I had an EIN. So when I opened that account with the bank, that it was separate, the funds were separated.
Got it. And to add to that, you can actually call to get an EIN number. Like Victoria said, you can go online. If you actually go online to apply, you get it right then.
Right then.
You can get it like right then. So you will actually just, it's very simple. You can have it within 30 seconds. It doesn't take long whatsoever. Now, Kimberly says her son is 17 and he's doing some graphic design. Can he start a business doing this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And he can get him an EIN and get him started.
Yes, Kimberly, absolutely. He can definitely start a business doing graphic design. Definitely, definitely.
And that's a thing. That is a thing.
That's in high demand right now.
Yeah.
So he can do very, very well. That's in high demand is graphic design. Another thing too, Kimberly, you can reach out to me. I can give you some ideas on that. Depending on what type of graphic design he can do, he can outsource his work with companies like Fiverr or Upwork, or there's a lot of different companies.
And there's people who are making salaries on Upwork and Fiverr.
Yeah. He can, he can freelance his work out. So I can definitely, give you guys some pointers on that. But Kimberly, tell your son, 17, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Building generational wealth. And yes, he can start his business right now. So ladies, great news.
Yeah. Yes, she said, get him working.
Yes. So Victoria, great information. Great information. A lot of the women are saying great information. That's so true. Great news. Perfect. So like I said, I did not want this to go over 45 minutes. Thank you so much for being a part of the Women Who Reset community. Thank you so much for sharing Jules with us. I really appreciate you coming on this evening. Ladies, if you have any questions, make sure to contact Victoria. For those of you that actually, have questions about, am I on track? What should I do? I want you to go and take, I have a money quiz for you. If you can go to bit.ly/money reset quiz, take that quiz and it'll actually show you like if you're on track to resetting your money, or, it kind of tells you the different things you need to work on. With that quiz, it's going to give you a score, so you know exactly where you are, and you're also going to get a bonus reset checklist. So make sure you go take the quiz, bit.ly/money reset quiz. It's a free quiz. You'll get your score, and let's create a party around it. Put your score in the group, you guys. Put your score in the group. Put your score in the group so that we can all celebrate you. I don't care if you got a 10 on your score. Put your score in the group, because what we're going to do is every quarter we're going to track to see where you started at, and by the end of the year where you ended up at. So no matter where you are, I don't want you to make judgment about it at all. I just want you to get started, as Victoria said. So with that being said, thank you, ladies. Thank you. Reset. Victoria, I want to thank you again for coming on and blessing us.
Anytime.
Ladies, like I said, you can reach out to Victoria. She is a part of the Reset community. She's on the Concierge team, and I love you guys all. Thank you so much, and have a good evening. Bye.
Good night. Bye.